All right, man. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all infinite honors, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Harakwakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well, and to the other Akim out here pushing this truth into the four winds. Keep pushing, Akim. We almost out of here, man. In this video, I'm going to basically go into how Esau is a liar and he's a damn devil, okay? And he fattens his pockets and makes billions and billions and billions of dollars off of killing people, all right? And he kills people in the form of telling them that they have lifelong diseases that's uncurable, like diabetes. Okay, they kill plenty of people I know with words. Okay, they're magicians, they're wizards, they're sorcerers. All right. So when people in America get diabetes, it's basically a life sentence. But if you're not enamored by the so-called white man and you go digging and you go doing research, you see that it is reversible. You see that a lot of people have put diabetes into remission. Okay. And if you are somebody that likes to live and you're dealing with life, you have to go into those cases and be like, what makes this person any different than the other person? But you are just so stuck at Esau's word that what he says, you look at it as law, and that's your God. Okay, and your God issues out death, and that's why you people continue to die. And it's not just diabetes; it's a plethora of diseases. When you understand what causes diseases, then you can stop them. Okay, now I'm gonna open up with a scripture in Sirach. Okay, and if you follow this scripture, the majority of diseases will never come to you, man. And this scripture is going to break down what diseases is. This is Sirach 37, and I'm going to start at 28. For all things are not profitable for all men, neither have every soul pleasure in everything. Be not unsatiable in any dainty thing, nor too greedy upon meats. Unsatiable means never satisfied, okay? That means that your appetite is just out of this world and you want to eat everything that you see. Okay. So the Bible is telling you don't be greedy on meats and don't have an unsatiable appetite. And it doesn't say appetite, it says in anything. So it's basically telling you do all you do in moderation. Everything. Okay. Verse 30. For excess of meats bringeth sickness, and surfeiting will turn into choler. All right. Now surfeiting, you can go look it up. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put the information. You ain't gotta look it up. I'm gonna look it up for you. Surfeiting goes into overdoing something, okay? And that word cola goes into medieval physiology, and it's basically going into yellow bile, okay? But it's also going into something called phlegm, all right? And that's basically mucus, thick mucus that goes throughout your body. It causes something called inflammation. Okay. Verse 31. By surfeiting, many have perished, but he that taketh heed prolongeth his life. Okay. So the Bible is telling you by eating too much or by engaging in these things, we're going to stick to diet. By eating too much, you're killing yourself. It's straight up telling you by eating too much, you are killing yourself. All right. Now, I'm going to lay the groundwork with this scripture, but now I'm about to play a couple video clips and then I'm going to come back with some more scriptures and show you that the scripture is older and it predates these so-called new cures that's out here curing people. All right.
Why do you want to fast? Because your insulin levels will come down with fasting. If you don't eat, what happens to your insulin levels? They go down because insulin is only brought on by eating. That's why I make you fast. That's why if you're a patient at CVI, you have to eat only once a day or twice a day. If you're going to eat twice a day, you start out with that eating, but you must eat in a 6-hour window. And then no eating the rest of the 18 hours. If you're constantly eating, you're making too much insulin. So you want to fast so that your insulin levels come down. So then after fasting for 18 or 24 hours, when you then do eat, you're sensitive to insulin, so your pancreas will only make this much insulin with the next meal versus a whole gallon before. So eating in a fasting state produces small insulin than eating in a fed state, where you produce a lot of insulin. We are always eating in a fed state. Why are you eating if you just fed?
After about 6 to 10 hours without food, most of the leftover carbohydrates from your previous meals will be used up for fuel. As a response, your pancreas will secrete glucagon, a hormone that makes your body release the stored glucose from your liver and your muscles. Your hunger hormones like ghrelin will rise as well, making you feel hungrier. After 10 hours, your pituitary gland will boost the production of human growth hormone, which will help delay muscle loss much longer than most people think. Your body temperature may also drop. After 16 hours, your body will become more reliant on burning fat for energy. At around this time, autophagy will kick in, which is a process where your body will recycle any junk it finds, such as damaged proteins, bacteria, or dysfunctional cells. 24 to 32 hours in, your body will run out of glycogen and become entirely reliant on its own fat stores for energy, while reducing protein breakdown rates substantially to spare muscle tissue. About 48 hours in, you'll experience improvements in your mood, alertness, and tranquility. After
One time I was in New Orleans, maybe I shouldn't say that, so I'm going to. I was in New Orleans with American Diabetes Association. And I got on stage and said, you know, you can stop being a diabetic if you become plant-based. I got on stage and they were like, yo, get back on stage. Like, you gotta rectify that.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? She goes, it's not true. Once you're a diabetic, you're always a diabetic. You can't say things like that. You're wrong. And so I go back up and I go to the doctor and I said, yeah, I guess I was wrong. You can reverse the effects of diabetes, but once you're a diabetic, you're always a diabetic because your DNA has changed. And the doctor says, correct. I said, with that being said, if you become plant-based, you won't have the effects of diabetes. She says, correct. Thank you. And we walked off stage, I got fired.
All right, so basically, what those clips showed you is first and foremost, Esau the devil is lying. All right, he wants you to be sick so that he can sell you these medicines. Right, I'm gonna read an article right quick about this lady that got her diabetes into remission, and she's talking about when she left the doctor. On my way out, the doctor next handed me a brochure, Living with Diabetes, published by the American College of Physicians. On its cover was a photo of a cheerful and very overweight couple holding hands. You can still eat carbs, it read. Just make the portion sizes smaller. Inside were photos of delicious carbohydrate-rich foods like cake, orange juice, bagels, and pasta, followed by pages of instructions on preparing, injecting, storing, and traveling with an insulin supply. At first, I didn't want to take the shot, but I didn't realize how much better I could feel, cooed one happy customer in the brochure. It made such a big difference to me. On page 57, in fine print, came the kicker. The development of the Living with Diabetes, an everyday guide for you and your family, was funded by a grant from Novo Nordisk, the Danish pharmaceutical giant that has been selling insulin to diabetics since 1924. So when you realize where you get your information from, where Western science gets their information from, you have to understand that these companies actually run the the medicinal world. It's not about healing, it's about money, it's about making people rich. Okay, now I'm about to go to the American Diabetes Association website, and you can go and do it yourself. All right, and matter of fact, I'm gonna take a screenshot so you can know. All right, and now I'm at the corporate sponsors. All right, and it reads Eli Lilly, Novo Nordisk, Sanofi, okay, Merck, Abbott, Dexcom, Pfizer, BD. All of these are huge pharmaceutical giants, and they have a vested interest in telling you that you have to eat diabetics. They have a vested interest of you feeding diabetes, because you clearly see if you don't do all that goddamn eating, first and foremost, it won't come on. But let's go into history and realize and find out why diabetes is so prevalent in America and it wasn't prevalent in these other places, even as that was run by the so-called white man. All right, now let's go to, let's see. First, I'm gonna start with just our ancestors. It says, did our ancestors eat 3 meals a day? Several hundred years ago, people didn't follow the 3 meals a day rules. In fact, Native Americans employed a practical approach to food. They ate when they were hungry. The 3 meals per day concept originated with Englanders who achieved financial prosperity. I'm going to read another one. When did people start eating 3 times a day? It was in the 17th century that the working lunch started, where men with aspirations would network. The middle and lower classes' eating patterns were also defined by their working hours. By the late 18th century, most people were eating 3 meals a day in towns and cities. Now, right now, we know that when we teach, we tell you that the Greeks and the Romans were the so-called white man, and they were devils as well. But they didn't have all of these different health ailments. Let's see how many times they ate. And we're going to start with the Greeks. Ancient Greeks typically ate 2 meals a day. For elite members of ancient Greek society, meals were prepared and served by slaves under the supervision of the female head of the household. So the Greeks ate twice a day. The Romans, which built upon the knowledge of the Greeks, let's see how many times they ate. And this is the question says, the Romans believed it was healthier to eat only 1 meal a day. Food historian Caroline Yeoman told BBC News. They were obsessed with digestion, and eating more than 1 meal was considered a form of gluttony. This thinking impacted on the way people ate for a very long time. So by eating once a day, 1 meal a day, what you're doing is intermittent fasting. And one of those videos that I showed you, it showed you after a certain amount of hours, when your body runs out of food, it goes and it attacks damaged cells. What are damaged cells and compromised cells? Cancer cells, cold cells, flu cells, okay, diabetic cells, cells related to high blood pressure. You understand? America is killing you. Your lifestyle is killing you. Christianity is killing you. You are killing you every time you deny the Bible and you deny its teachings. Okay? Let me get another scripture real quick. All right. Let's see which one I'm going to grab. This is Ecclesiastes 31 and 16. Eat as it becometh a man, those things which are set before thee, and devour not, lest thou be hated. No, that's not what I want. All right, verse 19. Sirach 31 and 19. A very little is sufficient for a man well nurtured, and he will fetch not his wind short upon his bed. Sound sleep cometh of moderate eating. He riseth early, and his wits are with him. But the pain of watching and choler and pangs of the belly are with an unsatiable man. Okay, so the scripture says if you don't eat a lot, you're gonna sleep good. You're gonna rise up early in the morning, and your wits are gonna be with you. You're gonna be better. You're gonna think clearly. Okay, and the scripture says for the ones that eat a lot and go to sleep on full stomachs and eat 3 times a day, they're gonna have digestive issues. They're gonna have inflammation. Okay, they're gonna have heart troubles. They're gonna have pancreatic cancer and things of that nature. And the inflammation is gonna build up, and it just turns into different kinds of sicknesses and ailments that compound one another and eventually kills you. Slow, painful, torturous death, and it's a self-inflicted wound. Okay, and pangs of the belly are with an insatiable man. Now, when it's going into the pain of watching, comma, and cola, comma, and pangs of the belly. These are going into different body physiological systems. Okay? All right. So understand this is medical advice. This is sound advice. Let me keep going. Verse 21. And if thou hast been forced to eat, arise, go forth, vomit, and thou shalt have rest. So it's telling you, eating to the point when you swole up, it's going to fuck off. Okay. And you're going to get sick. Let me tell you what happened when you eat like that. Your body has a limited amount of energy to use. when you are in your digestive state, that's the most amount of energy that your body pulls. So if you're constantly in a digestive state, your body doesn't have energy to go and attack cells that's damaged. It doesn't have energy to produce white blood cells. It doesn't have energy to regulate your blood sugar. Okay. It doesn't have energy to do these things because it's constantly in digestion mode. And when you enter another meal into your belly before the other one has been properly digested, that other meal turns into excess. And that excess turns into inflammation, weight gain, and fat. Okay. And these are contributing factors to sickness. And the scriptures clearly tell you don't live like this. All right. A banquet, a party, that's one thing because those things happen occasionally. All right. But even with that, the scriptures in Sirach tell you to have table manners. It tells you how even to eat then. All right. Now, let's go to Matthew, the sixth chapter. This is Yahweh speaking. Matthew 6 and 16. Moreover, when you fast, and I'm not even going to read the rest. It doesn't say if you fast. It says when you fast. So we are commanded to fast. And that's what people and the brothers are trying to tell the people out there, bro. The things that we are telling you is life. The things that you have been accustomed to growing up into is death. What are we telling you wrong? Eat better. Okay. Do everything in moderation. Have balance in your life. Stay out of people's business. Don't consume drugs. Don't deal with another man's wife. You know how much life just those little short paragraphs I just said, you know how much life that entails? You don't go sleeping with another man's wife, STDs out the door. An angry man ready to kill you is out the door. You have balance in your life, okay? You're more healthy. You're at a homeostasis, and your body, your spirit, and the mind is more connected, and you can serve the Lord better. Okay, you don't do all that crazy ass eating, and you do as the Lord tells you to do. You are more healthy. You feel better. You look better. You smell better. You read better. You think better. You pray better. You teach better, and you live longer. And you can actually rest at night. You can actually rest. Okay, so if you want to live, you come to the scriptures and you serve the Lord. And let me tell you this: you can follow all of the dietary and all of the wisdom of all the dietary laws and the wisdom of the Bible, and apply it to just your physical body. If the Lord looks at you as an enemy, He'll make you drop dead from a heart attack. Perfect picture of perfect health. So you have to have Him with you. Okay, He has to be with you. He's not going to let you take a hack out of the Bible and apply it to your nigga life. But I will say this: there are certain universal laws. Okay, there's universal laws. Okay, they are. Like giving is one of them. That's why you see the wicked like Oprah Winfrey. They always give, give, give. Cat Williams always give, give, give. This is universal law. Taking care of your body, that's universal. I will say that. Like the scripture says, it profiteth little, but it does profit. All right, with that, I want to give all infinite honors, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Harakwakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well, and to the other Akim out here pushing his truth into the four winds. Keep pushing Akim, Kwam Yasharala, Abal Babal.